I just blew another eval today, and there's something that I took from today that I really thought about because it really hit me. I'll show you the trade that I took after, but I took a trade that was late in the session and was very high risk for what I was getting in return. And I knew it was risky. While I was entering, I'm like, this is a risky trade, but I still wanted to take it. And the problem that I had today is that mentally my response to a day where the trade, like, price action hasn't been good, or there's been like a lot of factors why I shouldn't take a trade, is I want it now. It's that urgency factor of I want to be successful now. I want to pass the eval today so that I could get to the funded account and start getting payouts. But what I have to understand is that, and maybe you, if you want to take this, is that urgency in trading is a disadvantage. Patience is the virtue, and urgency is the vice. But now, everyone says, okay, just be patient, just be disciplined, just be this, just be that. But it's like, it's easy to say it, it's easy to know, oh, I need to be patient. But how? It's like telling a person who wants to play a sport, saying, well, you're no good, you need to be a better shooter. Let's say in basketball, you need to be a better shooter. Okay, well, how? You can't just say be a better shooter. You have to explain. Okay, well, you need to follow through like this. You need to do it this way. And there's these little details and steps and instructions that can help you. So now, when I look at my trading, my problem is, okay, I don't have, when I get into this position, the situation of I need to be more patient and just hands off. Hands off and just let it ride. If the trade goes, it is what it is, but the risk was not worth the reward, so why should I take it? So now when that situation happens, my natural instinct is, okay, I need to put risk on the table because I don't want to miss. But now you need to change that behavior. You need to change the behavior in the situation. So let's take another example. Let's take someone who is addicted to smoking. Usually people who smoke, they smoke when they're stressed. So when the situation comes, you're stressed, okay? You're stressed. Now, instead, usually your natural instinct is, okay, let's have a smoke and we're gonna be de-stressed, right? But now you need to analyze in real time, in the moment, okay, I understand I'm getting stressed, but I'm not gonna pull out a cigarette. I'm gonna do a breathing exercise. Something else that's better to get rid of this stress. This change in behavior does not happen automatically. Again, you need to notice in the moment the situation. Okay, the situation is happening. Now what? Usually I do this. Now we do this. So do that. But one time is not gonna do nothing. It's through repetition, more and more and more and more and more. Then your brain changes and this behavior gets ingrained into your head where this is what now we have to do to get rid of stress. So you're replacing your old behavior with a new behavior. And that's the point. So now let's bring it back to trading. So my problem was I want it now. I'm not patient. I'm gonna put the risk there, and I'll deal with the consequences. But it's no, why do that? It's change that behavior. So when I'm in a session and it's getting late into the session, I don't like price action. It's not favorable. It's extremely risky. Okay, the situation's there. What do I do? Usually, I would, okay, let's force a trade. Oh, well, this looks like my strategy, so let me just get in. Well, no. Why do that? So now we change it. We change it to, you know what? It's not there. I accept that. My strategy is not probable in this situation. Close the computer, and we'll come back tomorrow. Because remember, in this process, it's not about you gotta win every day. No one has 100% win rate. You gotta understand there's gonna be wins, there's gonna be losses, there's gonna be days where you don't trade. There's gonna be days where you're sick, so you don't end up trading. But the thing is, you cannot let that urgency of I want it now to override a rational decision. You cannot be in this industry, in this career, you cannot be emotional. It has to be fully logical and rational. This is what it is, this is the strategy, and this is what I'm gonna do. And the only way I realized to fight this is to really change that behavior. Create a new behavior that benefits you. You know? And over time, as you repeat this new behavior, of course it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to realize it in the moment. But over time, as you repeat this new behavior, that's gonna become your new natural instinct. And that's how you change. And at the end of the day, it's all about, in business and anything in life, to be better at something, you have to want to change. Because you're not, let's say someone who's not successful right now. They're not successful right now, so they need to change to become someone who is successful. If you had all the qualities of someone being successful, you would be successful, but you're not. So you have to be willing to learn and take your behaviors right now and change them. Let's go back to basketball. Someone who is not a good shooter in basketball, you can't just keep shooting the same way. You gotta change the way you shoot to become a better shooter and to make a basket. So at the end of the day, it's all about wanting to change, and then you gotta know, what do I change? How do I change? And that's the behavior. So you gotta change your behavior. So let me show you the trade that I took today, and I'll show you what I was thinking. Obviously, it was the wrong trade to take, but I'll just show you what I took. All right, so this is the trade that I took. It was a short on the NASDAQ. It took a while to get stopped, but I finally got stopped out. It took the entry was at 10:50, about an hour, 10 minutes. But now, let me show you what I was looking at to get to this trade. So going into market open, I was bearish. Why was I bearish? The 4-hour broke 4-hour structure yesterday. This was the low. It broke structure. It retraced. Now, what does a retrace mean? When you go to the lower time frame, it broke up and it broke back down, which confirms the end of the retrace. So here, Asia session, the 1-hour broke up, which means the 4-hour retraced. There was a 4-hour fair value gap that it retraced into. So now we wait, and the 1-hour broke back down. That means the 4-hour retrace is now complete. We're gonna move down. So coming into market open, I was bearish. I'm like, maybe look for some manipulation to the upside at like some 15-minute highs, an hour high, whatever it is, and then catch a trade down. So the 1-hour bearish. So then I marked out, this was mid-session, I marked out a 15-minute high. These are equal highs about. So I marked out the 15-minute highs. I'm like, okay, let's sweep the highs. Sweep the highs, and then look for a 5-minute breakdown, 5-minute retrace, and then target the lows. I wanted to target the new week opening gap because we are close to it, and if we want to do this big trend down, it's probably gonna happen today. So the 5 minute market opened. This was market open candle. It broke structure on the 5 minute right away. 5 minute breakdown. But now I'm like, okay, what do we need next? A retrace. Retrace, okay, price is retracing. Well, actually, it inversed the gap. So now 5 minute structure is now bullish. So now I'm like, okay, I'm not even considering longs. If I do take a trade, it's short because that's the high time frame. So I gotta wait for a 5 minute breakdown. So 5 minute break of structure happens right here. So what happens? 5 minute break of structure. Now what? Here, the 5 minute retraces into this gap. Let's make it blue. Go down to the 1 minute. The 5 minute retraces, but never breaks back down on the 1 minute. So what does that mean? Okay, there's no entry for me. So I just gotta wait it out until there's a 1 minute breakdown. And that's where I enter. Well, the 1 minute never broke down. It just broke back up on the 5 minute. So that just means this fair value gap gets inversed. Now 5 minute is now bullish again. So at this point, I'm looking, okay, what's the 15 minute doing? The 15 minute never broke back up. It just went again to sweep these highs. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're manipulating again and we're gonna come back down. So I go on the 5 minute again. I'm like, okay, to see a 5 minute break back down, I need to see this gap be inversed. Because there is no lows to break down, or this low, whichever comes first. Technically, this gap would come first. So that's what happened. So then I'm like, okay, perfect. Now what do I need? A retrace. What happens? Price goes up. Price comes up. It breaks 1 minute structure here. Barely, by the way. And then, boom, a huge candle. This candle was from open to close was 110 points. That's a 1 minute candle. So I'm like, okay, it's a bit of a big candle. Let me wait. Maybe this gap gets filled. So I see the gap get filled on this candle. And I'm like, okay, it's a down close candle outside the gap. I'm entering. The stop goes to the high of the retrace. And I'm targeting the new week opening gap. So I'm in this trade, and it takes an hour for me to get stopped out. I was in drawdown the entire time. Only these times I wasn't in drawdown. And that's how I got stopped out. So then I look back, okay, what was wrong with the trade? And what was I thinking in the moment? Because now this is all in hindsight. I'm telling you what I was looking at. But also in the moment, I knew, look at these moves. This is FOMC. This is all FOMC. All this is FOMC. I knew there was FOMC. I knew Trump was speaking at 9:30 in the morning. But I'm like, there could still be a trade. Yes, there could have still been a trade. But the fact that the entry was so late into the session, price action right here was in a chop fest the entire time, should have told me this is way too risky. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. FOMC is in like 3 hours. That's when the volume comes in. Why try to take a short? Why try to take a trade anyway? Why? And in my head, what I was thinking was, well, I have an eval account and it's fine to take these risky trades. For me, this was extremely risky because of the fact of FOMC. If price wanted to go to these lows, it would have happened. It wouldn't have done these double manipulation to the upside. And it should have happened by now. And also with this 1 minute candle, I knew. I saw the 1 minute candle. I'm like, whoa, that's a bad entry. I even waited. I waited and I'm like, okay, now's a good time to enter. But no, it wasn't a good time because this candle had also taken out a draw that I was trying to target. This would have been a partial Asia low. So the bare minimum, what I should have been waiting for is a 15-minute retrace because the target got hit, which did end up happening. But either way, FOMC would have manipulated me out. So it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video of I can't, you can't have this urgency of I need it to work now. This is a long game and you got to play it through. You got to learn from your mistakes. You got to improve with every mistake that happens. You learn and improve so that next time when it happens, you change the behavior. So next time, what I take from a day like this is you got to be more patient. When something is low probability, you don't take it. You just close the chart, you close the computer, go to the gym, go do something else, whatever it is, and you come back stronger the next day. Because there's going to be days, it's better to take no trade than take a loss. Why would someone prefer taking a loss over making nothing and losing nothing? A break-even day. I just, in your head, it makes sense, right? It makes sense to, well, why would I do that? Yeah, I would rather go break even than lose money. It just makes sense, right? But it's easier said than done. Let's be honest. Everyone knows what they got to do, but they never do it. And that's the difference between someone who wants to be successful, and this goes for anything, successful in what they do, and someone who's just going to do the bare minimum and keep doing what they're doing. And they're not going to move up. They're not going to become the best in that industry or in their job. You got to be willing to take the mistakes and really dissecting them layer by layer and how to like improve. And that's what I'm taking from today, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy an eval for tomorrow because Friday's bank holiday. So I'm gonna see how I feel throughout the day, and maybe I just paper trade tomorrow and come back Monday. But we'll see, and I'll see you guys soon.